Hi, everyone. Elaine back here at Proverbs Media Group. We are doing a segment for a couple different reasons. We are in a really um, exclusive time where something is happening right now in this very moment, Justice, that is so powerful and so evil. We felt that it was something we needed to put out immediately today, and that is the fires in LA. What do you know of them at this point?
I don't think there's a conclusive cause of the fires yet. We have some suspicions as to what be responsible, but one of the problems with it is the handling. Essentially, Newsom doesn't have any reserve water, so the fire department has made zero progress on containing the fire and it's spreading rapidly. That is the primary issue, is that legislation or mismanagement of government funding allowed for this crisis to get to the point it's at. And that's the part I want to highlight.
Yes, and I agree with you. Um, that and I find it extraordinary that they have hurricane force winds higher than a lot of hurricanes that we've seen. Actually, they had winds up to 100 mile an hour and over
Mm.
in areas for the first 2 days. We are in day 3.
Mm.
And I found it very extremely strange that we had something like that coming in and nobody gave a warning about it and nobody realized what that could mean in an instance like the temperatures, the fact that a lot of people's insurances have been dropped because of the locale that they're in. So many of these people not only have lost their homes, lost their businesses, lost their schools, lost their entire communities, but they have zero insurance. Now, let's couple that with the fact that the government, our current people in control, used the majority of the money for FEMA. Again, we are left with crises after crises, huge, thousands of homes destroyed, people's lives in disarray, no place to go. And yet, all that money went to the people that came over the border and were housing them and handing them checks every month. And
Serious misappropriation of funds.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is more tragic. I want people to understand that wherever you are today in this moment, you're in the store, you're in the car, you are at home with your family or whatever, you are every bit as susceptible as those people were. At any minute, that could happen to you. And there's no money left in FEMA. And there's nobody doing anything about it. And all of these people are being left with nowhere to turn. And yes, there was thousands of expensive high-end homes, and there are big names and stuff that are left out in the cold as well. But the worst of it is the people that lived in trailers.
The people below the poverty line.
Yes, and people that lived in apartments and stuff that were barely making it because of the economy that this government has also thrown upon every individual in this country. It's sick. These people had nothing. They were living from paycheck to paycheck, barely making it, putting stuff on credit cards, and now what they were trying to salvage is gone. I'm really outraged.
Absolutely.
You don't see this in me very often. I'm outraged and I'm sad. I'm brokenhearted. I don't understand as Christians how we've become so callous that we can hear these things and then just go on with our day and not stop. Please, everybody, stop right now. Stop and pray for these families. Stop and pray for our country. Praise Jesus. President Trump is coming in. But you know what? He doesn't have any magic wand either. He's going to have to work hard And every time we say that we're going to get people to save money or to get rid of all this government regulation and stuff so that it's not as expensive, something tragic like this happens and the government has nothing to help them with. Nothing.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking. Pray for those children. Pray for those parents that don't know where to take their kids, that don't have a home for them. If there's anything you can do, if you can donate, I'm sure that, that's going to be the next thing, is that we're all going to have to help. We're in Arizona. We're neighbors. And I've been praying, and I'm going to continue to pray about what we at Proverbs Media Group can do. And I hope you start praying for that too. Don't just pray for their loss. Pray for what you as an individual can do. Can you send $5 to help somebody? Can you pray? Can you literally stop and pray 2 to 5 times a day like we're asking people to do by using their phone and setting an alarm? Do that. If you can do nothing else, do that. Set your alarm on your phone to remind you 3 to 5 times a day that it will go off, and you will stop and pray for our country, for your neighbors, for your friends, for people that are in jail, for people that are sick in hospital. Whatever it is, please, please, please remember, God is in control and God can save us from all of this. Please turn to him now. Do you have anything to add, Justice?
I think you've hit it right on the mark. It's so important that in times like this, whether you have a dollar or you're extraordinarily fortunate and could offer more, I think that it's good to take example from Elaine. Anything you can do makes a contribution to this situation, whether it's prayer, whether it's making calls to the people out there. I have a buddy that lives in LA. He posted on his story, shout out to Hale Thornhill Wilson. This guy said, anyone in LA that's been misplaced, needs help, needs food, needs shelter, call him. I'll put his ad on the screen. If you're in LA and you see this might be like God's way of trying to connect you with someone who will help you. This is a good guy. And people like that who are in these fortunate positions, people like yourself who I've seen help with Hurricane Helene. Elaine went out of her way. When this thing happened, some people sit back, it's sad, they move on or they'll donate. She put together an actual initiative. She put together her own hurricane funding so that people could go and give the money to churches. She vetted all these churches and found one that was actually giving resources to the people. So I think similarly, we should look into what churches are in LA that are on the grounds doing good work.
Amen.
You guys should do the same thing. Find what those churches are. Send them $5. Send them $50. Anything helps at this point.
Right.
So get on the grounds. The government, we have to stop depending on the government to help us. It was never intended to do that. And the more we become dependent on our government,
absolutely,
the more they can crush us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you know what? They mentioned schools, businesses, and houses. How many houses of worship did they mention? 0.
Yeah.
And yet those are the ones that will be out there helping everyone.
Yeah.
When they have nothing themselves, they will be out there helping them. They will bring in all of the people that go to that church and they will cook meals. They will take people places. They will, take care of people. They'll take them into their homes. And that's something we can do here. We're neighbors. If there's people that are retired or need help or something, let us know. We have some housing here too. We can all do everything that God gives us the ability to do. Don't stop yourself. If God puts it on your heart to send money or to pray those 4 or 5 times a day and set that alarm, or if it's to call up people that in California. Thank God Elon Musk is taking Starlink in, because again, they can't even reach out to people for help. I heard some wonderful stories already about what's the name of it? Uber and some of the other ones volunteering travel time to get people in and out or take them to stores or get them around or get them to hotels or whatever. But there's zero control on these fires. This is my last and final message on this. Zero. They have nothing under control. It is still windy, not as bad as it was. It is still moving. It is still burning. It is growing. It's not done. Do what you can. And God bless you all.